Bottom of the Barrel Radio, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm John. We got Mike in the stew. Mike, how you doing?
What's going on? Just hanging out here, doing a lot of nothing. So figured I'd hop on here with you. So what's Bottom of the Barrel going to be here, John? What's the game plan? What's the pod going to be about?
Oh, I have no idea. No, I'm just kidding. Bottom of the Barrel Radio, pretty much the premises behind this is everyone thinks that, if we record our drunk stories, it would be a great podcast. Well, this podcast pretty much is we're drinking. Got my beer, got my brew. Mike, yeah, Mike's got his, and pretty much we're gonna be drinking. We're gonna be talking, and just dudes being dudes having fun on a podcast recorded.
I'm all about it. I think I got some shenanigans coming into play. Maybe you got to talk about any kind of like current events, stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. The most current event right now, as we're speaking, the NFL draft is going on.
Well,
me and you both Giants fans.
COVID-19 is pretty big too, but
dude, that's been big for a month. The draft is right now.
Draft is
so yeah, right now, me and you both big Giants fans and former offensive linemen. Shout out the Bayshore all-decade team. Shout out Coach Brown. Giants just drafted a O-lineman with their first-round pick. I think, honestly, solid choice. What do you got?
Good move. I think you need a strong foundation, That's big.
Yeah,
Alva's got covering that over in D4 Sports. He's all about that. He'll dissect this whole draft, the whole thing.
Dude, he'll know this kid's diet from the last 2 years. Every single food he's eaten.
Program and everything, man. I don't really follow. I follow football as much as I can, and I never was intense about it until this year when I started playing fantasy football, and it made me be so, I got to get that, or I got to go get him, or I got to bench that guy, and you start to think and pay attention. It was cool this year, so I'm kind of hoping we have another season so I can get into that this year. Be making some money maybe, but
yeah, you think about gambling?
I hit him up for my draft. Like, what do you think? Like, who should I pick up?
Him you hit up Alba?
Same thing. But
you hit up Alba for your picks?
Earlier this year, yeah. I was like, what do you think? Him and Blake. Blake wins his every year, so I was like, pick my team. But he was in my league, so he kind of was like, yeah, no, fuck you. And I was like, all right, I got you.
He knew who you were picking when you were picking it.
Dude, when he would play, so in the house, we'd always be like, who you got this week? And I was like, and we'd always help each other, like, I heard this or I saw that. And, the week I played him, he didn't talk to me all week. And I was like, because Thursday you had to set your lineup by. And I was like, man, why is he so quiet this week? And he just avoided me all week. And then it was Thursday, or I think it was Friday morning. And he's like, you set your lineup? I was like, oh, fuck. I got locked in. He's like, yeah, you're playing me this week. So I didn't tell you. I was like, you dick. I was like, son of a bitch.
Dude, that's a shyster, man. That's a kid that knows what he's doing.
Goes hard. He won our league.
Did you guys have any money on it?
Hmm?
You guys have any money on it?
Yeah, our pot was $150, I think we put down on it. That's pretty cool.
Not bad.
It was fun though. And it was trash talk all season. That was the best part about it.
Yeah. Dude, that's the best part. That's the best part about fantasy football is that it's a fantasy football team. It's you're legit. It's your team. And if you're doing good, you can make fun of your friends and be like, oh, dude, who do you drafted Tom Gurley? He's a bust.
I thought I was hot shit the first time. I was like, the first 4 weeks of the season, I won. I was like, fuck, I'm killing it. This is great. I suck at picking stuff and paying attention to football, and I'm killing it. Last weeks of the season, I didn't win since the 4th week. I lost the rest of the season. I still came in 3rd to last. I was like, all right, didn't lose. That's a good year for me.
Yeah, right. But you guys have a I know some of those guys do the last plays has to do a naked lap around MetLife Stadium or something like that.
I don't know I think ours was wear a dress or someone had to buy everybody around or something like that.
No.
It wasn't that good. I don't really remember what it was because it happened and we all weren't really paying attention and kind of just stopped and no one talked about it.
Dude, I've never, other than sports marketing in high school, I've never done a fantasy football.
That was my first time since sports marketing too. I was like, all right, I can do it. Let's go. It was cool. But I mean, I don't know, Alba's hardcore into the draft. Cool, good pick. Great. And then there's some I'm like, all right, I pay attention to that, but
Yeah.
I
I'll
like
know,
college
I'll know,
football too.
I know Joe Burrow, I know Tua, and I know like maybe two of the LSU wide receivers just because they were on every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And like in Oklahoma, and Jalen Hurts, quarterback from Oklahoma, and then that played at Alabama, and then CeeDee Lamb, like the number one like wide receiver. That's it. Alba's going in depth. Yo, I know Justin Thomas, Isaiah Winfield from
No,
Arizona State. You know,
Joe Burrow,
Birmingham.
I think, is the only one I got.
Yeah,
And
Joe
maybe
Burrow.
isn't Deion Sanders? No. Oh my
Deion
God.
Sanders has been retired for a couple of years now.
No, his son. No. Jets player.
Oh,
Moss.
Randy Moss. Randy
Yeah.
Moss's son. Yeah, Thad.
He's
Thaddeus Moss.
he's in the draft this year though, isn't he?
I believe so. Yeah, tight end.
I that's big. But how about COVID-19, dude? Let's talk about that.
Dude, yeah, I was about to say, like, with this whole Corona thing, it's, I mean, awesome these kids are getting drafted, but they might be rookies the same time, again, this time next year, you know?
Could be. My thing about it is like, all right, so we're shut down. Everything's here. How many people you think had this before it was like known?
What do you mean? Like, people had Corona before, like, they really knew?
Before it was
Like,
Corona.
yeah. So, like, what do you mean, like the flu, or someone just go to the doctor, like, before, like, they got it, they interacted, like, say they went to the grocery store and someone that had just been
Right,
going,
no,
like,
because there's a lot of people this year that got sick that were young, like, oh man, the flu hit me or I got something. And it was like January, February, they were getting sick and had the cough. They had everything. And it's like, oh, and now you're thinking about it, it's like, oh man, maybe I had that. Did I have that? And it's crazy because they are saying that there are cases now that they think it was before like the actual time they estimated it to get into the United States.
yeah, my mom, actually, she got sick around that time, and she went to the doctor, and they said, the only way to, like, I guess, test at that time for Corona was to say, have you been out of the country recently? She goes, no. And then the next question the doctor asked was, does anyone you know have been out of the country recently? She goes, no. Then they go, all right, you don't have Corona. And then,
Oh, so
but
she got tested for it.
no, she didn't. What I say, you do have Corona or you don't?
You don't. But so they knew it was around when she went to the doctor?
She asked, yeah, she asked, and she's like, but it was like that at that time. It was only in like China and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Italy, and but they didn't think it had like gotten spread to the United States. There's only like a couple cases here, so they didn't think it was going to spread that widely. But yeah, she goes to the doctor and she asks this question. They're like, nah, the only way you can get it is if you travel out of the country. But she was coughing for a month straight, and she had like all the symptoms. So she might be a Corona survivor. She doesn't even know
I was talking to a lot of people that are like, man, I might have had this in February. And
it.
that's
Yeah.
just crazy. Like, this is, we just did a Southern Bottle or Sobo Radio podcast. And I did a shout out for all the frontline workers and first responders. And I'd like to do that here. Thank you, everybody that's doing that. You know, our nurses, medical field, all our essential workers, restaurant, hospitality, you know, maintenance, every garbage man, everybody. Thank you, you know, and it's crazy. We were just talking about this beer all together. It's this recipe that one brewery let go and has all these breweries around the world, 600 plus, making this beer and everything, and then they're donating all the proceeds to the first responders and frontline people.
Really?
Or these, I think actually altogether is donating the money to hospitality sector workers that have been laid off and stuff.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
No.
And it's really making everybody come together, I think, and people are starting to think, all right, we need to start doing things differently after this. I think the landscape of what we come out to is going to be a lot different than what we went into this as. And
Oh, dude, the whole world is going to be changed forever because of this.
there's going to be some big differences. And I don't know how long this is going to go on, you know, until they get a vaccine, till when this is really solved, you know?
Yeah, I don't think we'll have, you know, sports with fans for another, you know, year or so.
Yeah.
Until they get a vaccine where if someone gets sick, they can get a shot, you know, or like the flu. Like people get the flu and then they, that happens. But there's a flu shot to prevent it. But until there's a, corona
Vaccine.
vaccine, I don't think we'll ever have, like festivals, like music festivals,
No,
or like places with mass, people gathering. I don't think that'll happen until there is a cure.
not at all, man. It's gonna be a while, I think, too. Unfortunately, I just hope
Yeah,
everybody understands. Like, all right, the curve's not going up, so it's working. You know what I mean? It's definitely
right.
working. So you got to stay inside still.
Yeah, that's going to be the hardest part with like, I mean, it's springtime now. Thank God the weather hasn't been that great, so everyone, doesn't feel inclined to go outside. But
Yeah, but look at all these states that are starting to open. Like, I
oh,
get
yeah,
opening the economy. It makes sense. Totally understand it. Because, like, yeah, we can't let all these people go bankrupt, right?
right, yeah,
But I also understand keeping the country shut because we don't want people to die. Like, people can't die. So this is when you got to trust those doctors. And you're like, all right, you got to make some call. Help us out here. What's the deal? And I don't know. This is history, man. No one's really, what,
absolutely.
1912? Or when was the Spanish flu? Somewhere around there.
Yeah, Spanish flu. Yeah, that's the only one
And
that's like
from that,
similar to what's going on.
like this is like a plague, man. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. I mean, no sports,
Oh.
dude.
You know what the worst thing about this is, though? Like, I'm quarantined with my mom, right? Love my
Yeah.
mother. Yeah, great. Lady. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The
Love my
first,
mother to death, but
no. She's teaching online, right? And
okay.
when this first started, like we were showing her how to do things, like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Then throughout the week, it's like we became our parents' geek squad, like stay-at-home geek squad. I don't know how to do this. What do I do? It's not working. Come here, fix this. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm not a
Yeah.
computer person. I might be able to help you with PowerPoint. Let me click once, see what happens. And I got lucky a couple times. I'm like, ooh, we're good. But it's like all the time. It's like, oh, call Geek Squad. Michael, come here. Oh, all right, Mom. I'll be right there.
Dude, my dad's the same thing. He's, an older guy. He, never grew up with computers. And so he's like trying to do like a Google Classroom, like a meeting with all of his students. And he's like, yo, John, how do I set this thing up? And I was like, Dad, I've never used this in my entire life. I have no idea. I was like, tell them to download Zoom, get all their emails, and then invite them that way. I mean, that's the only way I really know how to do it.
That's true. No, and it's like what it is now. To be honest with you, what high school kids have a month of
They all have
school left.
Chromebooks.
No,
Chromebooks.
what do they have though? A month of school. What's today? April, almost May. So they have like a month of school left, right?
About almost 2 months, June 26th.
Some kids, but in the South, they don't. They might have a month. Let's say a month and a half on average. Like,
Sure.
no one's paying attention. No one. It's going to be pass fail. Like all the colleges, you're writing an essay or taking an
Oh, yeah.
online test. Like, I don't know. Let's just move on. It is what it is. They got a half a year.
Here's a wash. Yeah.
It's nuts. It's just. I couldn't imagine. Like, it definitely sucks for people that are going into their senior years of either college sports, even the kids that got their season taken away this year as a senior in high school, college. Like, you're not going to get that back. But I know they're extending the eligibility. But still, that's a tough thing, and it kind of sucks because you work your ass off to get to that senior season. You're like, all right, we're going to have some fun. And then it kind of gets robbed.
Absolutely. Yeah. My brother, he's senior in college, and like he went on spring break and then he never went back to school. He went down to Florida. Yeah, no, he went down to Florida, had the time of his life with like all of his friends, and then he's not going back to school.
Yeah.
But I mean, for seniors in college that work so hard, 3.5 semesters, and then just to have this last semester cut short, or 3.5 years, and or 3 3/4 years, pretty much, and just to have this last
and that's
quarter
like
of
as a
year.
senior too. That's one of the best semesters.
That's the best time, yeah,
Yeah.
because your grades are already set in stone. Like these like 5 classes you're taking that are mostly just GPA boosters.
I had one class. I was like, damn, I got to pass
Right.
this class, or I'm not getting out of here. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. You have like those 1 or 2 classes, and then if you take a 5th year, like me, um, you'll you might get lucky and have an extra semester to do it. But yeah, these kids like this is the best time because this is when like the weather starts getting back nice
Yeah.
after a long winter. The pool parties start pumping. Like everyone's having a good time.
So speaking of pool parties, what's up with your like bucket hat? Is that your pool party hat? What's the deal with that? I've never seen a
Dude,
bucket.
this is my bottom of the barrel look, dude. This might be my I got my DJ set up back there. Got
You
it
know
on
what he
Wednesday.
looks like though right now?
So
Have you ever seen Home Improvements?
yeah.
The guy that always hangs over the fence, what's his name? I don't think.
Oh, get out of here! No, I don't.
Yes, you
Get
do,
out of
bro. Like
here!
if you put a little like go like this, and then it looks like him. Yeah, dude. You're
Get out
exactly
of here!
him. You're him.
Why?
Can't
Because he
do that.
wore a bucket hat.
I mean I get the look, but yeah, no, you're him. We gotta get you a fence now that you can sit over for every episode. Pulling a segment. Yeah, there you go. A little.
Your logo here. Your logo here. Sponsor the pod.
But so you know what I was thinking about last night? I was literally in bed. It's like 2:30. I'm just sitting at the ceiling, staring at the ceiling. What is a stage name for?
A stage name.
Yeah.
So people don't. It's cooler than your real name.
Yeah, but if I busted my ass the whole time to try to make my name, why would I change it?
You know, Jamie Foxx's real name isn't Jamie Foxx, right?
Yeah, but it's like Kevin James. Like that's not his real name either.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, it
Kingfish.
rhymes better.
Yeah, no, I just don't think I would change my name. I'd be like, nah, this is it, bitch. Like I
Yeah,
worked
well,
my ass
you
off.
got a good name. Like you got McNulty. You know, Mike McNulty.
Yeah, but there's still like that's my name. Everybody has their name, and you got like you're proud of your name. You know what I mean? So like
Some people are. Some people aren't.
that's true. I guess that's true. Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that. I was like, man, I was like, what the? What's the
Like
stage
Post
name?
Malone.
Like I get it for writers being like anonymous and having that kind of thing, but a stage name, it's like,
Yeah. Like all these artists, um, like Post Malone.
rappers. I understand. Like rappers, I should say. I guess not because
Because it's an act. You know.
yeah, it's different. Like country, I get people change it to like make their name sound more American and stuff, but like I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. So what's on
What do you?
the
Yeah. What do you? Okay. So here's a question that I had for you. I wanted to bring up. Quarantine ends tomorrow. What's the first thing you're doing?
if it were to end tomorrow?
If it were to end tomorrow, what's the first thing you're doing?
But is it like just ending or it's ending and I can't get sick?
Ending and you can't get sick. Like the whole world, like instant cure.
I feel like
Corona's just
I feel
like
like there's gonna be block parties for days.
clock hits midnight tonight, and Corona's wiped from the earth tonight forever, and it goes back to normal beforehand. What are you doing?
I'm probably gonna have a party. That's probably my goal.
Yeah, me too.
I'll go to the bar.
I'm gonna drink 5,000 beers.
I don't know about 5,000, but I'll definitely get my share, and then I'm gonna have a good time. I just want to hang out with people, man. It gets lonely. You're just sitting inside. Like you can only watch so much TV. Like been working a little bit, then you have your hobbies. Like I started playing the guitar. I play the guitar a couple minutes, an hour or so a day. Then I started garden, and I just started garden because like what else is there to do? Nothing. So I might as well get some seeds. Started them, ripped up like a 16 by 8 patch in the backyard.
Jesus,
Um,
what are you
yeah.
growing?
I got all kinds of veggies, dude. I'm trying to find some eggplant and tomato seeds right now.
Eggplant.
But I
You like
got
eggplant?
beans, peas, squash, onion, green onion, potatoes, carrots. What else? Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, and I got them all started. I'm actually using Allie's room, my sister, as like a green room or greenhouse because she's at my dad's. Like, fuck it. Put everything right in the front of the window. Get some nice sun. All the stuff's starting to sprout now. I'll let it grow about 2-3 more weeks, and then I'll start transplanting it out in the garden. I'll start like the second round of seeds. So we'll see what happens.
Dude, if quarantine ends tomorrow, I'm going to the beach and with all of our friends, and we're throwing a huge party.
Fuck that. Get a lake house. Lake house is where it's at. I can feel it.
Yeah,
Though.
that'd be sick.
So I don't.
Renting a house. All right. So I'll rent a house, invite all of our friends there, throw a huge rager, wake up, and then just like have a huge party, just like nonstop party for like a week straight.
I want to look up quarantine hobbies. I feel that though. Have a big ass party.
I think that's everyone's consensus.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So that now I know what you're gonna do, what you want to do post quarantine. What's one thing you never want to do again after quarantine? I know there's probably been something that you do that drives you absolutely out of your bird. I mean, I've been working this whole time, thank God, so I've been able to get out of the house away from everyone. Um, but
Mine hasn't been that bad. Like I've been doing my thing. My mom teaches, and like we just kind of chill. But like the whole being inside, this sucks. This
yeah,
just sucks. But it is what it is. Like this is the sacrifice that you got to make. I get it. There's been other people that had to make way worse sacrifices for our country in general.
right,
So
yeah,
it is what it is, you know. But I,
makes sense.
yeah, I don't know what I wouldn't want to do. Probably sit inside though.
Yeah, I would never if I was stuck in like inside all day for
Yeah.
how what is this a month and a half. I would never want to be inside for more than a day at a time
No.
again, ever again.
Nope. I'm
It's
trying to think.
miserable.
Like I, I just hope it's not like more than a year, but I have a feeling it's gonna be close to that. So we'll see.
I don't think it's going to be full lockdown, dude. Have you been outside with one of those masks yet?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, absolutely terrible. You
Wow.
can't breathe out of those things. I don't
What
know how those, shout out to all the doctors and nurses that wear those things all day because they are the worst things on this planet.
saving lives though, man.
Yeah, I know, but you
Save.
can't breathe. It might end mine just to save someone else's, just because I can't breathe out of those things.
Mhm. I'm trying to think. Like, what do you think? So obviously we're here podcasting, so that had to jump off the tracks when this happened. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna start a podcast."
Yeah, right.
We did it.
Hey, man.
We
Well, we
added.
had this idea before quarantine started,
That's
but
true too. We had it. We
but
had it for a solid 2 months, and then it just became opportunity. We had like 8 episodes filmed, but then we had to switch everything over to Zoom. So
right, yeah. I mean, it works. We got the job done.
I want to bring people on. I think that's going to be a big thing when we start rolling with this. I think bring on some different people, maybe some of our friends we grew up with, went to college with, whatever. People in the
Yeah,
community. Just interview them. I think it'd be a really cool thing to just start doing.
absolutely. Dude, these guest spots are going to be key. When I threw that thing on my Instagram, shout out Bottom of the Barrel Radio on Instagram, by the way. I had a bunch of people DM me. They're like, "Yo, when you get an open spot, let me know. I want to be a guest on the pod." So I
Start
got
filling
like
them up, dude.
I have like 5 or 6 people that DM me, like college, like kids from high school. They're
Up
like, "Yo,
on, man. That'd be sick. Schedule it up.
yeah, next week, new pod next week, and Ray will be here next time, hopefully, if he's not sleeping again."
There you go. But other than
Uh,
that, I mean, what else you got to add? You got anything else you need to get out there? Let everybody know.
Yeah, Ray's pulling on Osmosis Jones fighting Corona. That's why he's not in the pod this week.
Yeah, shout out to Ray, Staten Island, doing it, man. But
No, but yeah, season 1, episode 1, Bottom of the Barrel Radio. Good episode, boys. We'll release every Friday?
something like that. Yeah, we're gonna once a week, every week, you'll be hearing from us, seeing who we have on, and watching what we got to do.
Yeah. If you want to be a guest, hit my DM at _ Jotto, Jotto on Instagram, and we'll pencil you in. We'll see
Pretty
if you're
good right
worthy enough.
now. We got spots.
Yeah. You're gonna be put on the backlog for a little bit, but you'll get your turn.
Shit. All right, man. Let's get it going. Stoked. Let's do it.
All right, season 1, episode 1. That's a wrap.